I came back and I started up martial arts practice again. And I was able to, it's 2.5 hour practice twice a week. And I was always in very good physical condition. There was no problem about being exhausted or out of breath. So I found that after about an hour of continuous practice, I could hardly think clearly. I was unable to count. And then it took me 2 days to recover from one night session. But I did get through 2.5 hours. And so
you're lucky you didn't make yourself worse.
I did. And I finally I had to back off of training because my symptoms were getting worse instead of getting better.
Right.
So I just want to give you that
no,
little input.
there's actually some studies that we'd like to do where we give them cognitive tests because a lot of people report their brain fog is much worse 24 hours.
So at the beginning of the practice, I was able to function, and I would remember every move. But towards the middle and end of the practice, I could not mentally even count in Japanese, and I forgot the movements that I was supposed to do.
That's a very common thing. We're actually interested in doing some brain exercises to see if we can.
I don't know if you want to see my brain. You'd be shocked.
Well, it looks like you recovered to some extent.
No, I'm still going through problems. Yeah, but I was trying to find answers which led me here. And everything that each of you talked about, I see the patterns, and I see how it relates to what we talked about, the yuppie flu syndrome that they call it yuppie flu, because it had multiple symptoms with different people. And so it's fascinating. And,
of course, the people in Lindenville, that was a rural poor district that also had an outbreak at the same time as this one.
Where at?
Lindenville, New York.
Oh, really?
New York, yeah. But those people, are a lot of them are rural poor. They're certainly not yuppies, but they got just as sick as
Just
you.
like Yarrington. They're farmers.
Well, you know, Lyme came from Lyme, Connecticut.
Yeah, right.
Where they first noticed the pattern, which had to do with the deer.
Yeah.
But what I'm not sure how many people know this, Lyme or Connecticut was used as a storage facility for furs that were coming from Russia. They were exporting furs with ticks. And there was a tremendous outbreak of venereally transmitted disease during the war. It was primarily by the Russian troops that moved into Central and Eastern Europe. And they spread these diseases that they thought were syphilis. It could have been Lyme disease. But there's a theory that the Germans actually cultured the virus and spread it among the lice, because the Russian military camps were loaded with lice, the peasant houses as well. And so they spread it as a biological weapon. And after the war, the Russians were trying to get revenue. They were shipping furs to the United States and Lyme, Connecticut.
Very interesting.
It's actually published. And Dr. Mengele was involved in that project, of all things. So, I don't know if anybody wants to learn about that. I couldn't believe it when I read it, but now I'm beginning to see.
But it seems that all we have to do is just look at known Lyme cases and see if their immune parameters match chronic fatigue syndrome, and if not, well, then we can keep looking.
Well, it's so many things that's hard to pin down.
Dr. Peterson said he's done it.
Dr. Peterson?
He said he had looked at Lyme versus CFS.
Well, it also has, for example, different blood types react differently, different genetic types. So.
The other thing that has to be remembered, though, there's no reason that somebody who gets bitten by a tick and has Lyme antibodies and took antibiotics can't also get whatever chronic fatigue syndrome is.
Correct.
You know, you can have both. There's no reason that they should not be able to get chronic fatigue.
You're correct. I may not have mine, because I wasn't really here as much, but my wife came down with it. She has cancer and all kinds of other things. Her sister passed away from cancer, but they also had similar symptoms. They were here while I was away for a while. What was I going to say? I sometimes forget what I was going to say.
Your wife might have wrong with not CFS.
Right, exactly. But there could have been something that created the immune collapse in North Town. What it was, we don't know. But it would have, everybody had their own weaknesses, whether viral, bacterial, or lifestyle, or mold, or whatever. But it would be your immune system collapsed.
Exactly.
So different symptoms.
That's right. There's some people who consider CFS acquired immune deficiency, and that's one reason we're very interested in looking at immune cells, because maybe we'll see that there's some sort of immune deficiency, so you can't fight off more.
Exactly. That's my belief.
That was my first question: is why did this happen at North Lake Tahoe but not South Lake
I
Tahoe?
have an answer, but I can't tell you that.
Okay.
I can't tell you because it's dangerous.
Then I'd have to kill you.
No, you might be killed. But anyway, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you come back more often.
To Reno or anything.
Ha! Me and my little poster.
Yeah.
I would like. Yep, once again, nobody gives a damn about this.
Well, we'll see.
And I thought it was such a fascinating thing, too.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you were talking about with, what's her name?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you got all the, that was so interesting. Look at that. Truckee. Wow.
Yeah, you know, down at the Elk Grove School, which was the subject of this abstract by Chester and Levine, they found that same darn Stachybotrys mold.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So here we are at Truckee, at Elk Grove, at North Tahoe High School. We're all pointing at the same mold. Not a single chronic fatigue syndrome researcher will look into it.
Well, yeah. Well, nobody. I mean, it's just this. I mean, they're just not even aware of it. Yeah. You know. I mean, it's really hard getting it into the mainstream, isn't it? Yeah.
And that can tell you all about it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It's true. It's true. It seems to be everywhere. I've got a couple just incredible old recovery stories on the website.
Yep.
You know, I mean, some people they just need to get away. Some people they need a lot more treatment.
Well, look at Julie Redmeyer.
Yeah.
I took her to this school, to this very school, and she kicked her ass, and now she's become a mold avoider.
Oh yeah. I know. It's getting out there. It's just slow, but I wonder what impact Julie's book will have.
So far, not too much. They go, how nice, but they don't respond.
You mean the physicians, the researchers?
Right. Yeah, Dr. Kleiman should have been on this within about 30 seconds.
She what? She was.
Why should Dr. Kleiman take years to respond to a clue that should take any normal person about a minute or so to work out is relevant to the investigation?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I wonder if it's like me with different subjects in the blogs. It's like this big field, and they just don't want to even. They're like, you know, I don't even want to start.
Oh well.
But it's getting out there. I mean, my girlfriend has mold problems. She was in a bad house for years. She finally moved to another house. I'm gonna have a blog coming out on this horrible story of this woman who they found mold in the house, and they ripped that part out. And then I don't. Right now they could go bankrupt or lose the house. It's just turned into.
Oh, so many stories now.
Yeah. That's going to come out in the next week or so. Actually, I'm going to do that story. I'm going to do a review of Julie's book, which I love, and then a recovery story. I'm going to do it all. I'm going to do it again.
Then perhaps we can get one of these researchers to talk to us.
Well, who knows? Yes, that might be. You know, who knows? Who knows what it's going to take.
Dr. Armstrong is a kind of interesting case because I talked about the killer plume and incline, one area of town that was really bad. That's where his church was.
Oh, really? Yeah. Did he have parishioners, that guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In the documentary, I Remember Me, he talks about how sick they were. It's like, well, isn't that interesting, Dr. Armstrong? Why didn't the people in the other church get sick? Just his church.
Yeah, well.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I think the truth will come out.
Yep, eventually.
I mean, mold is a definite player.
Yeah. All it takes is researchers' synapses to click together and start looking at this.
I know. I mean, it's been very slow on mold research. Very slow. Patients are putting their stories out there.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't made it to research.
Yeah.
It's true. I guess you got to keep putting the stories out there.
Yeah. Keep telling the story.
Yeah.
So many nice things. Oh my goodness. Good. I'm glad to see you're still working hard here in the PhD.
How are you doing today?
Really awesome.
Yep. Awesome. That's
So does it take you out a year like they do, and then so you go 2 years, it takes you a year, 2, and then 2 back? Wow, that is a lot of work. It is.
That's
Got a neighbor there that just did deep brain stimulation. I mean, I
know we do. We're a center of excellence. And you will see people. And it's not just for that. They're doing it for all these different other movements. You have an app on your phone.
I just talked to a young lady who actually sells that, for the company, and so she was telling me all about it, and I said, I had no idea. Because, you probably heard about the vagal nerve stimulation of this disease for some people.
And that's actually big. I think for the future for chronic everything is controlled, and that's why it makes sense. This is in housing training. PI work now.
I've been saying that for years, by the way. It needs a home in NINDS, but they need to take it seriously and they need to do the work.
And I think, I think what we've done now is that we're trying our best to just, just collaborate. Take it out of put it in their hands. And what's great too is that as far as access to health, Dr. Hanson is a graduate student teaching how to make PhD, which is like, because and then it's like, it's not. And it's not like, we still have a lot of patients coming in, and that's been really interesting to see, because there really are intense things. We had a woman who said yesterday, looked like she was encephalopathy. It was unbelievable. She could speak. It's wild, but so we're trying.
She's still on that. She's more of a progressive, so she's in the neurological department, so we're still looking for because that's a lot of talent.
It's always so interesting. I just love hearing you talk. I really do. And you explain things so well.
Well, I brought my little poster.
Wow. All right, I gotta say goodbye.
Awesome. Better all the time.
Down there is so welcoming and opening. Yeah. Oh,
Great little meeting you got here.
Trying to make it better, you know? Trying to, I don't know, just trying to
Put some of the pieces together.
I really like the quote from Einstein, maybe had him to talk to. This stuff moves so quick now. Things change. Like it's making stuff. Things get easier.
So Dr. Ron Davis is extremely confident of his new testing methods.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are.
He thinks he's got this nailed.
Good.
I think
First time though?
Yeah, I talked.
Thanks a lot.
Good to see you.
Yep, so on.
Listen, would you just give my best for for sure. Okay, that's right. All right. Oh, he'll love it. He'll love it. You got hugs from all these women. I know. Were you up there? I good to see you. Of course, it was great to see you again. Well, yeah, I was going to say.
Really good job.
Well, I did notice you weren't sleeping, so I'm very grateful because when I called the audience, you're a little bit tired.
We could do it.
So I'm like, oh, I'm not looking to see women.
What I would tell you that there's a lot of people blog and write articles on this. Articles that you've written, all of which I've read.
Control.
Oh, really? Oh, you mean our published books? That's because it's published because we're
What are you guys doing? What's your schedule?
very, very soon. We're very soon. Well, thank you very
Do you
much.
want Mark? What time will Mark go down to
I know. I just like rocket science. A little common sense.
But it's nice because you've taken all the emotional, political side out of what you say. Just, this is the science. Here's
Yeah,
what
you have to do that. If you're gonna help, and make a contribution, it can't be taken
credit. I came into this because
we had a good time.
which is not acceptable. It should, when there are people who would benefit if we got our act together, cooperated, collaborated, and left the politics to just, Washington's so full of it, just shut it out there. That shouldn't be with us, but it is. So, well, thank you so much.
your time, but I really appreciate it.
Well, my pleasure. I appreciate you guys kind of coming to this event, and let me tell you, I think we're going to try and figure out what's going on in town. So, we're working on it.
Yeah, we're optimistic that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stunning about the political nature of
Yeah.
research. You think that if you locked up all the researchers in one room, don't let them out until they reach some kind of conclusion.
Well, that's what they did with NASA. The whole space program was born out of getting all kinds of talent together and having a common cause and keeping the politics out of it. And that was the space program. We should do better. We should be able to do better.
You know what's astonishing to me is the original chronic fatigue syndrome cohort.
Hey, Tom, thanks for coming so much. I got to tell you, it was...
Are you off tonight?
Hi, everybody.
No, unfortunately, I am going to...
You're not doing this next week.
No, we have...
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I have a 5:30 flight You know what? It's not like, I don't periodically, come out here, and certainly we'll be following up and, with what your plan is and what we can do. It's been a real pleasure to meet you and your father. And I just told you that, I said, you know what, we're working.
This is my first time.
We're going to be trying to figure out what's going on with Tom and other young people and people, but the young people do well.
But it was not a success.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was,
Yeah, this is the ultimate chronic fatigue syndrome cohort, the first one, the
Oh.
first 3 teachers, and it has never been examined.
Yes, well, one of those teachers is here tonight, and I've known her for about 22 years,
I
so.
also included that there was something that happened up here
Which one?
that caused people to have a lot of different symptoms.
Which teacher?
Yeah.
Oh, you know those teachers.
No, I was a student then.
Okay.
I haven't seen like Gerald Kennedy in 40 years.
Okay, Joe Kennedy.
So like you,
I don't know, maybe this was one of the other outbreaks, but anyway. What are you guys up to?
We're off the search now for places to stay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
You know, yeah.
okay.
Howdy,
Hi,
Eric Johnson.
you're Eric Johnson, Leslie White, and this is Omer. This is Autumn. Autumn is here actually from Asheville, North Carolina.
Howdy.
Came back home, but she's fine.
Right.
Yeah, so
Where'd you get sick?
I got sick here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Here in Income Village. About a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Started getting it though, maybe probably, that's when I was diagnosed. But my sick, yeah, it's been like the last year and a half, 2 years.
ah.
What
Oh.
about you?
I was Dr. Cheney's first mystery illness patient.
You were? You were the first patient?
I was his first one, yes.
Oh.
1984,
1884 during the whole outbreak.
before the outbreak started.
Before the outbreak.
Yeah,
And where did can you connect where you got that?
yeah.
I overheard you guys talking about being in at the university.
Yeah, there were a bunch of clusters. They did an abstract on it, where the illness was associated with sick building syndrome.
Sick building syndrome.
Which building?
Well, Truckee High School, North Tahoe High School.
Were you one of the teachers?
No, I was a student there. But it was my
Okay, 'cause
teachers who got
I knew all
sick.
about that cluster. Okay.
Yeah,
So all the teachers were getting sick.
right, that room where they got sick, that was known to pretty much everybody to be a killer. It was just walking past it was making people sick.
What was about the room?
It was a toxic mold called Stachybotrys chartarum.
Really?
Yeah.
A mold?
We, at the time this happened, toxic mold had not yet been discovered.
So it was a black mold?
Right. So when they analyzed the situation, they had nothing in their medical literature to tell them that this was toxic or pathogenic in any way. We didn't find that out until a couple years later. But by the time they had written their abstract saying that nothing was known, this cemented it as if it were written in stone. And they never went back to find out that, yeah, we found the mold, that's what made people sick.
No, we built.
And then they started the mold remediation, back in New York, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that when all that, because I knew.
Right, the Eastern New York Regional Health Center with Eckhard Johanning, yeah.
I have a patient now, I'm a physical therapist here in town, but she was one of the scientists that was in that group. That was one.
Ah. Yeah, we found out that all the people that were in contact with this toxic mold at the time the viral or flu-like illness went through, these were the ones who didn't recover. All the other children in the school, they went on with their lives, they got fine, but you've got a whole room full of teachers, they stayed sick forever. And I go, well, that's an interesting pattern. I wonder if it holds up. So I checked with the other schools, North Tahoe, the casino, same pattern. It was the employees down at the sick in the basement of the casino that got sick, not the guests, not the people that worked on the upper floors, just the engineers, the maids, and the ones.
spores were staying on there.
Yeah, in fact, Dr. Komarov did a speech here in 1986 where he said, wow, it's amazing how this keeps on happening in sick building settings. And we think that the reason why Incline Village High School wasn't hit so hard was because it was a new school with big windows and good air circulation.
Except I was about to make the point that near the state capitol in Sacramento, we built a brand new, quote, state-of-the-art, and quote, building for the State Energy Commission. And all of a sudden people began to get sick. This is about 1980 something. And everybody in the building's getting sick. And they found the same thing. And it was a new building.
Yeah, I remember that. I've got the newspaper articles about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then they discovered the same thing down at Elk Grove. The teachers down there were getting sick. They were calling it death wave. And these were the same, well, it was killing them. So this abstract was written on Truckee High School and on Elk Grove High School. And so I called them up and I said, okay, teachers, we found the toxic mold Stachybotrys where the original chronic fatigue syndrome cohort was. What did you find? Same thing, Stachybotrys.
What about the students?
Oh yeah.
They infected the same way?
For some reason, it was the same situation where the teachers got sick. And perhaps it's because the